Hello friends. Well, the world's in a pretty terrible place, isn't it? Unless you're a Donald Trump supporter or a fan of Brexit, in which case I hope you're finally happy. For the rest of us, it's all pretty miserable. But that stuff, all the Trump and the Brexit and the blah, blah, is not what I want to talk about right now. I don't know about you, but I've felt myself getting caught up in all of that bullshit. But there's a lot of other bad stuff happening in the world.
شعوري مثل ما تم عندي شعور أنا. شعوري يعني أنا حاسس بس بدي أكمش بشار الأسد بدي صير هتلر. بدي عذبه.
In the villages of Yemen, it's the children who suffer most. Wherever you go, you can see the human cost of this war.
Yes, the various global humanitarian crises are still rumbling on, and they're not going anywhere, and they may be getting worse. And winter's here now, which is always an incredibly hard time, especially for refugees, for people without their houses. And I've been trying to make a variation of this video for a while, and I haven't been able to get it right, but essentially it boils down to this. I've noticed a tendency in myself to try and avoid all of this humanitarian crisis stuff because it kind of hurts too much and it's too miserable to think about. And I really want to get past that because I think, it's something that is significant that's happening right now to other people like us. And I think a lot of us have found convenient excuses in some of this other stuff that's going on to say, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. Enough. Now, I've got various theories as to why we ignore it. There's traditional just not caring about it because it's so far away, or my personal theory is that it's a lot to do with powerlessness, that we as individuals are told that we should have power, that we are powerful, and yet we're confronted with this stuff which makes it really clear that actually we're not at all powerful, we don't really have power, and that hurts us to think about, so we don't. But there are things that we can do, and I think the first step is, in my case anyway, letting go of this idea of that, oh, I should be able to fix things. I can't fix everything, and that's fine, it's just how life is. And then the second thing we really need to do, I think, is actually stand up and face what's going on and say to the people who are being affected, yes, we see you and we see what's happening and we're going to do whatever we can to help if we can, but we see you. And a friend of mine, half Syrian, half Greek friend, posted a picture recently from her Greek hometown of Thessaloniki, and wrote a few words which I wanted to share with you. It's been 5 years since the war, 1,000 emotions unarticulated, imprisoned in daily news, comments, fear and criticism. Today they all gathered in one phrase written by a refugee child on a wall in Thessaloniki. I too miss you, Syria. The colours, the smell of grape shisha and fresh bread, now replaced with cement, blood and catastrophe. No one deserves to have their homeland taken from them. There are many ways to help, if you want to. This is not what it's about, though. You don't owe nothing to nobody, but your sympathy and a friendly smile to those who lost everything that mattered. Good night, good world. Peace. For me, that sums up better than I can some of my feelings around this, that we should be looking at the people who are suffering in these tragedies as people rather than as a political idea or some form of conflict to be studied, criticised. Occasionally you get these images that cut through, like the Alan Kurdi on the beach, the picture of Alan Kurdi dead on the beach, and so many pictures of children dead or dazed or having lost their families, and so many pictures of people's faces. And yeah, I think also, I've been avoidant around them as well, and something I've started to realise, and that I still need to put into practice, is that I used to think compassion was like a reservoir. You had a certain amount of it, then it was finished. But I think compassion's more like a muscle, and that the more we use it, the stronger it can get. And obviously, like a muscle, you can strain it and what have you. And of course, the next bit, and in some ways the most important bit, is the stage that comes after that. Is like, once you've decided that yes, this is something that's going on, and yes, hey, we should be trying to help. Help. And a really great way to do that is charity, and there's lots of great charities out there who try to help people affected by humanitarian crises, such as Médecins, Frontières, Doctors Without Borders. The Red Cross is pretty great. In Syria, there's organisations like the Syrian Civil Defence, the White Helmets, and in the description to this video down here, or one of these sides, or wherever it's being put now, I will put links to charities where you can give. And you can give from pretty much anywhere in the world. If you're in the UK, there's often a UK branch where you can give and get tax given to them as well. So do that if you can. And it's the most important bit, but in some ways it's the simplest, because you should just do it. But I think it's really important not to forget that earlier bit with this idea of actually recognising that these are people. Again, thinking about myself, I know that sometimes I have treated giving to charity as something of a salve to my conscience, that I give a tenner a month to Oxfam and it's fine, it makes it go away. And I think recognising that other bit is incredibly significant as well. Anyway, that's it really. Hopefully pretty simple. Hopefully a reminder that this stuff is all still going on there, even while we're dealing with this politics of bullshit here in the West. And I'll be talking a lot more about that, because I have things I want to rant about. But for now, if you've made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I hope it's been in some way useful.